Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition, or maybe this is the first edition of HRD 631, the Adult Learner Overview video. So for those that are new to the Adult and Higher Ed program, new to a course with me, generally this is the format that I keep, and you can expect on a weekly basis. Either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, generally Saturday morning, I will send out the overview video for the next week, including releasing or making visible the materials for the next week. So that's the format. So there's a couple of things I do want to mention right out of the chute. If you have not participated in your discussion forums for week number 1, please do so. Today's Saturday, so you have Saturday and Sunday to get those done. And the format that I like is generally you do your initial post by the middle of the week, and you don't have to go overboard. 100, 150 words are perfect. And so do your initial post and then comment on a couple of people. I believe most everybody in the class has done their initial post, and I've welcomed everybody to the class, unless you haven't done yours, and then therefore I probably have not formally welcomed you to the class and read your introduction. So if you haven't done it, please do so. We have time. The first week always is an adjustment. So what you're looking at here is, as you can see, well, maybe you can't see, this is my symbol on my view that says the material hasn't been released. And the reason that it hasn't been released is I haven't done the video. As you can see here, this is week number 2, but the video that I am recording right now will be posted. This is from last semester. So what I'd like you to do, this is a little bit different format, but it spells out all of the information I'd like you to do in week number 2. Week number 2, please read and view Rebecca Platt's learning autobiography. A big part of this class, one of the bigger assignments, is a learning autobiography. And this is where you tell a portion or your kind of your life story through the lens of learning theories, ideas that we discuss in this class and are discussed in the book. More to come on that. So let me just say, I'd like you to take a look at these. You can find those in all of the materials. Take a look. Recorded final week down here. Learning organizer. Annotated bib. These are the assignments that we have coming up. Exploration projects. Just bear with me. Learning autobiography examples. So that's where you're going to be able to find Rebecca's. You'll be able to find mine also in there. Word of warning, these are written in a certain way. They're kind of raw, and you do not have to use the same format when you do your learning autobiography. These just happen to be examples of students, including mine, that just will give you one option on how to write it. So much more coming on that. Read the 2 articles, or take a look at week 2 readings. These are optional readings, but I encourage you to scan those. Our text, read chapters 1, 2, and 3 of the text. View the presentation. Respond to the discussion board question. Same deal as we've been talking about. Do your initial post, if possible, by the end of the day on Wednesday, and comment on 2 other people. Exploration project. This is one of the major projects coming up in generally like week 10 through 12. It depends on how we structure it, so it's not for many weeks, but start thinking of possible ideas for an exploration project, something that you might want to explore. I'll have more information on that, including we can talk about that in general coming up with an optional Zoom meeting. Check out the advanced organizer for week 3. And then we have an optional Zoom meeting coming up on Wednesday of this week, January 24th, which is Wednesday at 6:30. Here's the Zoom meeting. And I do have just some information on that. If you cannot make the meeting, do not worry. We have a class of 15 people. If we get 1 or 2 or 5 or 8, it really doesn't matter. I will hold the meeting. If nobody shows up, I generally stay online till 15 minutes into it, which means about 6:45. And if nobody shows up, then there's nothing to record. So I don't hit the record button while I'm just sitting there staring at the screen. So if you can make it, bring your questions. We can do the agendas for these meetings are very loose. They could be an overview of the syllabus. They could be, we could talk about the assignments, how the course flows, whatever you bring to the table. They're generally dictated by who shows up and what you're most interested in talking about. That is it. It's really an agenda that you're not going to miss a mini lecture on the subject. There's plenty of times and formats that we can discuss that. It's really just an opportunity for you to show up and take a look at the materials, ask questions, etc. So the materials. We have, first of all, formal, non-formal, and informal. This is the formats. We're kind of looking at the settings for adult education. And these are kind of the broad classifications that our adults participate in. Rebecca Learning Autobiography, she has a YouTube video, and I can tell you a little context of this. Rebecca was a student quite a few years ago, probably 10, 11 years ago, that has given permission, and she recorded a video on the process. Rebecca was really, she was very anxious about the learning autobiography, and I think some of that had to do with her experiences in life and learning. And she wasn't sure, it was a hard assignment for her to conceptualize. And fast forward to, she wrote her learning autobiography, and to this day, I still talk with her. She still talks about it as being the most profound learning experience that she had in the adult and higher ed program. So that's kind of what it is. She talks about the anxiety she had and the experience of writing it. You don't need to do anything with this. This is just for your own usage. Week 2 introduction. I'll click on the Week 2 introduction. Just gives you just an overview of the week and the chapter. Learning objectives. The readings, these are the optional readings. I find these fascinating, and if at all possible in this semester, if possible, please, check out the optional readings, even when I make them optional. Sometimes I ask that you read them, therefore they are not optional, but they are certainly highly recommended that you read those. Coming forward, we have a PowerPoint presentation that I put together on chapters 1 and 2. An advanced organizer for week number 3. And I can tell you, we're going to be reading chapters 4 and 16 in week number 3. And the electronic reserve article is really, it's an older article, but it's a great one. It's really, what is college really like for adult students? And then we have a discussion forum next week. So that's my version of a preview advanced organizer. Different professors use different titles. Thumbnail sketches. Don't worry about this. We have plenty of time to talk about it, but these are books that I am going to be asking people to read an excerpts on, and we'll discuss this in week number 8. And then we have our discussion questions. These are the discussion questions. I give you permission to format these any way you want. I say these are the 3 questions for the week. Please answer all of the questions in one discussion post. So you can put this in a couple of paragraphs, however you want to do it. It's up to you. You can answer each one of these in the same format. You can cut and paste, whatever works for you. So that is it for the week. If you have any questions, let me go back to week module and go back to the beginning here. Video, etc., etc. Come down, materials, discussion. And right in here is the optional Zoom meeting, January 24th at 6:30. Here's the link. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful week. Pretty cold out today. Who knows? Could be skiing. Finally, the skiing, the snowboarding. You might own a snow sled and you're out doing that, whatever it might be. So for me, I think I'm going to be brave. I'm going to strap on my running shoes and go on a 3 or 4 mile run if the wind isn't too bad. So I hope you enjoy the weekend. I hope the first week went well. And if you can make the Zoom meeting, that would be great. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, we'll see ya. Bye.